freckled cheetah cat sat on a log. One leopard freckled cheetah pal sat on a log. One cheetah spotted-tailed singer under a log. Hello! Today, my name is Calico. A nickname I conjured in the car when Christopher said Calico would be my company name. The perfect mass-sounding variant to my name. Dude, why can't you just sit on the wall? Because how am I to be genderless if I'm writing off the namesake of a very, very pink girl unicorn that's also a character in my show? Toss you away. Should I be rebranding my channel into Pocket Challenge? Snap out of it! Existential crisis aside, welcome to another crafting video in the forest for intros! The place where I word sound my way to a longer runtime and help you relax to engage you to watch this video. This is part 2 of the 3 minis in production, but the one I'm finishing first. That's right, the beginning is the end! Eats Being Fun is the 3rd mini we wrote, taking place after Macy's Valentine's Day greeting. See, when you wish upon a cookie, and the only one to not feature potatoes. Instead, David is present in the children's game. Shocking! David? Nice? Well, he's a pirate named Moneybeard, so... Well, moving over. Watch me complain about the building walls now. Last night, I made Kristoff a fancy hat. Even though Kristoff is a sophisticated businessman, he still needs rainbows. I didn't plan on these permanent markers spreading like everywhere. I didn't want to use washable marker because I thought it might rub out, but also both markers might stain the doll or the clothes. The first ribbon is blueberry plaid and the second one is scribbles. I thought one of these needed to not be so abstract, so a pause, but the ink kept spreading and making giant blobs that were incoherent, so I outlined it with black Sharpie. I forgot that there was a second piece. Time for a bunch of spots. Gotta rinse out the excess ink. After almost 5 hours, it's turned red. This will take a long while to dry, and then I can sew it. Here's the front door that has been preventing me from filming this entire week. I just keep moving this. It was in here, then it was in my room yesterday, but then I was sewing a hat, so I had to move it in here, and now I'm going to finally paint it. 17% battery is probably enough to film something. I was going to say more, but then recording makes my mind blank and not be able to play my words well. Now I need a script the more complicated thought I had earlier before I forget it. Do not. Mapping out the stone placement before I remove them all to paint. Run off. Don't need you, cause I'm getting sidetracked again. Forgot the wording I had earlier because I thought organizing the other voiceovers first was a good idea. These stones I decided to cover the front door. It quickly became a meaningless, repetitive, and never-ending task with snail-paced progress. I kept getting bored and quitting, but I didn't want to do anything else as it was only one step before filming the next scene, so I couldn't withhold progress of a smaller task for a different episode, even though the novelty excites me enough to approach nebulous tasks. Eventually, the stones were glued on and I filmed the opening of Frogwood. Here's the big window exterior that I painted in between gluing the sofa to match this wall. Oh, this is more red than that, but I don't really care. The depth of these stones is so small that I don't think it was really worth the entire week I wasted on that. Also, Meowla has a new outfit. And then here's like 1/3 of their front yard. Because there's another big window for the living room, plus the garage, and an office way over there. The bean truck box I add bean burrito and beans on toast. This makes up with forgetting to make llama bean cans. I took the grass down because I still need to make the porch. porch. Bunch of railings. Yet another self-constructed obstacle setting back filming by more days because I will avoid finishing this step after losing initial interest in the first day. I later painted the tubes brown to match the wall. The boards ended up darker, so I painted a few extra for future porch extensions in front of the office. I could put a small table and chairs there. Lastly, the sidewalk. David must magically get clean because I am too behind to paint dirt. For David's pirate outfit, I drew a pant shape on this white fabric, so if it fails, I have plenty more. A mock-up that leads to a dead end, as there is no time for iteration when you're perpetually behind. I measured from the Velcro to the center of these red sorts and got 3.5 inches, which became the length the J curves diverged from. Waist could be taller, so I had a waistband to cover the frayed edge. I think I sewed over the part of the crotch that curves out. The baggy leg should cover up any weird bunching. Getting the zigzag to the right tension on this thin fabric was so hard. Either it skipped stitches too loose or too tight, tunneling the fabric. Just so flat. I folded the waist in and put on the blue belt from David's blue suit. He needed a coat, which I also put minimal effort in, roughly cut to the bad colored shirt pattern I made. If you just fold these overlapping front pieces, you get fancy coat lapels. Now he looks vaguely like a boat guy. Slap this money ring on his wizard cap to symbolize his money obsession, and Moneybeard is ready to steal your company. Lost a day to drawing these unicorn meats. I couldn't just let them be pink with speckles. No, they had to be multicolored too. That makes your picture read as pencil scribble and not beans. Keep your hand-drawn single-use props simple if you want them done with any urgency, a speed I seem to not possess. I used one bag, and they're being dumped to the back of the Hudson's pantry after the events of this film. I covered them in tape and stuffed it with crumpled paper. This clip is from after I cleared the Eats Being Fun set because I was eager to get back to filming. Back under the bed, big box. This big box is going to be the garage, and this is going to be the driveway. I am once again covering a wall in stones, but I cut off the stones before arranging them, so I was able to get 3 layers glued on before lunch. Then I procrastinated to cut them out and had to wait until the next day to paint the walls. It was almost dinner, and afterwards I got hyper-focused on captioning old episodes. Unrelated tangent time. I started the subtitle process last September, quite because the auto time was placing the tall source of the scene in the sped up replay of the next scene. Eventually the convo began around Ocean's short line, and the rest of the script appeared with minimal timing needed. Point is, episode 5 and episode 4 have subtitles. Blueberry Rescue is speeding through the script. The auto time keeps wrecking my changes. Gotta start over, but that's a wall of awful for another day. I took far too long placing the stones in my alternating pattern. 2 is not enough to keep the colors from touching. The top piece is all extras, so no thinking there. I had no energy left for the garage door, so just taped the walls.
Good afternoon! Would you like to embark on the greatest flavor journey of your life?